Alrighty, looky here. We got a nice little view, y'all.
They must have removed it.
Monet getting ready to do the little wig view. Yay! Oh yeah. And you're gonna need this right here, a domey head. All right. You can take it over.
Alrighty. Is it on still?
Yeah. Just waiting on you.
Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to take the hair that we got. We're going to take it out of the packaging. And this, they gave us little lashes. Okay, so this is the 360. And the 360 that we got is a 12-inch. Okay, and we got...
That ain't gonna be long enough for my hair. It's already that long.
Right. So we got 3 bundles. We got 18-inch. Nice little good amount. I like 18-inch. And then we got the 16.
Okay, that one will be.
Okay. And then the 14-inch.
You realize the camera's there, though.
Oh.
It's on the, yeah. I'm just showing you. So if you want to see more of this, you're going to have to go to the YouTube channel. And if you don't know the YouTube channel, I'm sorry.
This is the 360 closure that we're going to be using. And this is a 12-inch. Okay. And then we have a 18-inch. And the curl pattern on this is body wave. So this is an 18-inch. We got a 16-inch. And then we have a 14. So these are the bundles that we have to work with. So for your 360 closure, you will need to bleach your knots to make it look realistic like it's scalp. You will definitely need the developer and the cream. So it's the 2 steps that you mix together so you can dye or bleach your lace. And then to make the wig, to assemble the wig, you will need a dome cap. Some people call it wig cap, but we will need a dome cap. You will also need your needle and thread. You cannot make a wig without this. I mean, well, you can, because there's other ways, like hot glue gun or just regular hair glue. But I prefer to use the needle and thread. Make sure you get your scissors. You have a comb. And then when you're through making the wig and you're ready to apply the wig, we're gonna be using some Ghost Bond. Yeah. Put that mug on there and have it down tight and nice. And it lasts a pretty nice little time, and it doesn't come off with sweat or anything like that. So I recommend Ghost Bond. I really do. And one thing that is really good to have is a foam head for you to assemble your wig on, because it is very hard to make a wig without having either a mannequin head or a foam head. So this is good to have as well. So that is all of the products that we are using. And also, you will need, you can get like a paper bowl and a plastic spoon if you need it, just to mix the developer and the cream together. So this is everything that we are using. All right. So you guys stay tuned. Okay.
See, I asked you to have everything.
I don't even think it's the towel.
What's the towel for?
Just to put it down so I can put the hair on it, so I'm not getting like the bleach or anything on your table.
So you want aluminum foil?
Yeah, that'll work.
Or is the towel better?
Ooh wee.
Which one?
Well, aluminum foil is fine too, because I can actually close it up with the aluminum foil. Yeah. Oh, this has the baby hairs already. Was this pre-plucked when you bought it? Looks like it.
Alright, so Charlie put her hair in a bun.
Yeah, she put her hair in a bun, and so she left out, and I always can hear her butt when it pulls up because it's so close to the house. So I know for a fact that I heard her bus. I know I did. But she comes back in like at 8:40 and was like, my bus didn't come. So she was like, I called grandma and she's on her way. So she had this planned out. So I'm sitting there like, yeah, you did that on purpose because I know I heard your bus. I know for a fact I heard your bus. I ain't stupid. So she's basically waiting on Mama, and Mama came a little bit after 9 and got her. So I was upstairs in my room with Kate. So I had text Charlie like, "Are you still downstairs?" And she just responded was like, "No, I'm at school." And I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of figured you're at school now." So yeah, I believe she did that on purpose. Shit, I had to sit down with her last night and show her a video on Facebook. This is I want to say the third kid that's like Charlie's age that has died from getting into a fight at school.
What happened? What do you mean? What's going on?
It's no kids here in Missouri, but there's been 3 girls. They all girls. They all have gotten into fights at school, and after the fights, they have been rushed to the hospital because they have died because of head injuries, and they all have died. And the mama of the last one, the video I showed her last night, the mama said her daughter had got off the bus and these girls jumped her. She said which I don't understand for the life of me. You sat there and watched them do it. I probably would. I don't know. In a case like that, I don't know what I would do, but I wouldn't sit there and let them do it. She said she sat there and watched them kick her baby in the head, and then her baby. She was telling her daughter to get up, but her daughter was like, I can't, my head hurts, and just laid back down on the ground. And so they rushed her to the hospital, and she formed a tumor that fast in her head and went into a coma and died.
Oh, yeah, all them kids would be fucked up and in jail.
Yeah.
They'd be all in juvenile for sure.
That's why I'm like, you sat there and watched them kick your child in the head? Yeah, no.
That is crazy.
I couldn't do that one. That's why I told Charlie, I said all that fight and stuff, because now because I be checking her Snapchat and stuff now. Yeah, people be messing with Charlie, but for the most part, Charlie be fucking with these people too. You know, she be, after she done had the little fight and stuff, she be messing with people, and she be sitting there talking about she gonna whoop somebody's ass, and I'm like, look, all that fight nonsense, you need to cool it out. You need to cut it out, because it seems to me like a lot of these kids these days are fighting dirty, and it's getting kids killed. Because, like, the first time I heard of a kid dying from a fight at school, it was this teenager. She was a teenager. She was in high school. No, she wasn't. She was in middle school. Fighting over a boy. And these girls jumped her, and they recorded it, and they got all of them in jail. They jumped the girl in the bathroom, and what killed the girl was the last blow to where she hit her head on the edge of the sink, and it killed her. So I'm like, y'all need all that fight nonsense. Y'all need to stop. Just cut it out.
Okay, what are you doing?
Okay, so now I'm mixing the developer with the it's BW2. So it's the cream. You just mix it. The bleach. When you do mix this, don't put so much of the liquid into the powder because you don't want it to be runny. You want it to be a thick consistency. So,
how do you know how much to use?
Well, usually people measure it, but I'm just eyeing it because I've done this a lot, so I know what kind of the consistency needs to be. Because when you're doing a lace frontal and you're doing bleach, The reason you don't want it to be runny, the reason you want it to be thick is because you don't want it to seep through the lace onto the hair and then you'll have bleached hair. So that's why you want it to be really thick.
How do you know what's enough? What do you
So I'm going to add a little more to this because this isn't clearly enough at all to do
so what
the front. So I'm going to do, let's see, let's turn that inside out. So we're going to do the whole front of the closure because you want it to, like I said, you want it to look as natural as possible. Now, some people be leaving theirs on for a really long time to where it looks orange. Do not do that because that, to me, it does not look natural when your part is orange.
So some hair is still up front.
Yes, that's like the baby hair. This is the baby hair. So 9 times out of 10, this is getting cut. This is going to get cut down.
But if you wasn't, you would push it back under it, though, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah. And then again, I'm not putting, when you are bleaching it, you're not putting the bleach way up here. You're just doing it basically where the hairline begins.
Hold on. Where you doing it?
Okay. I'm basically just putting the bleach. You never put the bleach way up here. That's kind of like wasting bleach. So you basically just want to put it where the hairline begins. So I'm going to start it down here. And that's where the hairline begins, is down here. So, and then your unit look like it's been pre-plucked already, which is really good. Pre-plucked closures are good. Okay. Now, when you're doing
how do you keep from getting it dyeing the hair, though?
Dyeing the hair? Okay, yeah, so when you're, I was just about to say that. When you put it on, some people like to just smear it on. You don't do that. That's how it gets on the hair. You kind of just blot it on a little bit like that.
Okay.
So let me show you. Okay, so you put it on and you just blot it on like that. Because when you smear it on, it's you're pushing it into the hair, basically. So you just basically just put it on like this.
Is there a way to keep it from not going down? Other than putting it on there, I mean, you can't.
The only way really that you can keep it from not seeping into the hair is you have to make it thick and you cannot rub it in. You can't. Don't do that because that will definitely make it seep through.
And how far do you go back? Do you do the whole thing or?
Depending on if you want wherever your parts to be, then some people do go all the way back. I probably will go back just a little bit. I'm not going to do the whole, go all the way back. But, like I said, some people will do the whole thing. Just so, like, because they like deep parts. So, but yeah, I'm not going to do it all the way back like that. So, yeah. What the heck was his job? What happened?
Mulch.
Oh.
Why didn't I do my job?
I'm recording, so I really don't need all that extra noise.
I should let somebody do my job. You know I ain't gonna say that shit. You know I need the damn money.
Are you done making all that
Yeah,
noise?
that's bullshit though. Come on, I ain't making no noise. upset too. Shit.
Are you done with this action already? Because I'm recording
I'm not
and
gonna
I
say
can't
that.
stop it.
I know, but why did you let somebody do the job? You know I needed damn money. That ain't right. That ain't right.
I'll be back.
That's crazy, man. That is not need damn money.
Okay, so this is, I'm pretty much finishing up with putting the bleach on. So okay, so after you guys put the bleach on, you want to let it sit probably about I say you probably want to let it sit for like let me see, I'd say about 15-20 minutes. I think that should be a good time. And so when you do that, it's really good that I have this sitting on aluminum foil, because what you can do after you're done, cover it with the aluminum foil so it locks in the heat. And so it'll help it turn a little better. So I'm going to scoot it back just a little bit and pull that forward. And then I will shut that down just a little bit. And then you just let that sit.
For how long?
For a little bit. You let it sit for like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Not too long.
Why are you covering it?
You want to cover it to keep heat in. You don't want it, like, okay, say if you left it open and wind and stuff like that is getting in, it's really not, it's not going to help it turn, really. So you want to lock in the moisture and the heat and all that stuff. Alright, let that sit. And then when you're done with that, you clean up your mess. Make sure you close this thing up. You don't want to. Is it reusable? Yes, you can reuse it. You can definitely reuse it.
How'd you know that all that powder was going to drop out? Why is it dropping out so much?
Why is that dropping out? I don't know where it is. And then, too, you really should use gloves with this. I should have said this in the beginning, but, of course, because I'm not using gloves. But you really should use gloves with this because this stuff can burn your hands. Because I've, like, done this before without gloves, and I was like, oh, my fingers burn. So yes, make sure you use gloves when you do this. At least with the bleaching process, use gloves. Safety first.
So basically, that's the same way you would actually bleach this hair if you wanted to change the color.
Right.
Too.
Right. Yeah. Yep. The same thing.
So how do you know which one of these to get? Because, you know, they have like the 40, they have the 20 and all that.
Now, I believe the difference between like the 40 and the 20, I believe it's just the, what's the word I'm looking for?
The processing time? Or?
No, it's like, I guess you could probably say like the power, like the strength of the developer. So, say if you, let's see, how can I put this? Say if you have like a number 4 color hair. Say your hair is a 4 already. You would want to get, I believe it's the lowest developer. So that would probably, I believe they have 10.
Okay.
I believe they have the 10. So you would probably want to get 10 because you don't want to bleach your hair that much because it's already light. So now if it's darker, say if you have a 1, you will want to get a 40 because you know it's darker. So you're going to need more to lighten the hair.
Right.
So yeah, that's the difference between the developers, the number of developers.
Alrighty.
So yeah, but it's definitely, you can definitely reuse it. And again, make sure you use gloves when you are dealing with the developer and the cream, or the powder, because you will definitely need, you don't want to get like a chemical burn on your hands or anything like that. So, because some people are actually allergic to that stuff, and that stuff will kind of eat at your hands and burn your hands. So make sure you wear gloves.
All right. And when do you recommend washing these things, or do you even recommend washing them?
Only way I recommend it is if it has a chemical smell. Now, I would probably wash them because when I smelled the closure, it had a chemical smell before I even put the bleach on it.
But they're supposed to be virgins.
Correct. But a lot of the times, I believe they're probably not. Because
it's a 14. What's that one?
This is the 16.
Okay.
So let me see. Let's see.
I'm going to put one of these in here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you should wash it regardless, just because.
Yeah, because you don't really know where it's coming from. Because I remember somebody.
Get lice.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I remember I had seen a video on YouTube where somebody was doing an unboxing of hair, and their hair had bugs in it.
That's nasty. So
you don't really know where this hair comes from. And yeah, they say it's virgin hair, but 9 times out of 10, it really isn't. Mm-hmm. It really isn't. Because I'm pretty sure if you wash this just with some shampoo and it turns pink or bubbly, there's a chemical in this. And I'm pretty sure it will do that.
Okay.
So
should you sew it together and then wash it, or wash it all when you do the rinse out of that thing?
wash it after you rinse this because you don't want to wash it together, being that it has that bleach on there. So you want to wash it separately. Okay. Yeah,
Makes
I would
sense.
wash it separately. But yeah, don't do it like while it's sewed on. But yeah, just do it separately after you wash the closure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a 16.
This
That's a
is
14.
16,
What's
yep.
the other one?
This is an 18. So this is the longest one.
How much of it do you think we're gonna need? Just probably the
Being that
couple.
you have the 360, a lot of times people usually just use 2 bundles in the middle. So I would use the 18 and the 16.
Okay. So remember back in the day when you would just buy a whole.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
Which one is this one? Okay, I have the 14 in my hand.
Yeah, this is the 14.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so remember back in the day when you would just buy a whole bundle of hair and you could make, a wig that way? Or did you ever do that?
Back in the day,
well, I guess you did the braid and then you would put the wig on, sewing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be similar to that, right? Except you're not braiding it.
Correct. Only thing is with this being like since back in the day, you instead of just sewing it to the head, this is where you be able to take it off whenever you want to and stuff like that. So it will be able to be removed and you can be able to put it back on. And so even too, some people like to put clips in just for that extra secure, shoot, because I know it's been windy here lately because I had a wig on the other day and I had to grab it because it kind of came off. But but yeah, some people like to put clips in theirs, but if you feel that you have enough like secure with your cap, then that's perfectly fine. Because sometimes too, and this has happened to me with wigs, with the clips in the combs, they will pull your hair out.
Okay.
If you wear wigs a lot and you have combs in there, they can give you bald spots and pull your hair out because that has happened to me. So sometimes you got to give your hair a break from the wigs if you have combs and stuff because like I said, those combs and the clips can definitely pull your hair out, especially if your hair isn't as strong and thick. If it's thin, then yeah, you need to kind of be careful with that. But
okay, so when you did do the braids and then you sewed in, you only needed one bundle. Why is it that you need so many of these bundles now just to make it like that? I don't get that. You understand?
I guess because back in the day, people really didn't care too much of the fullness and stuff like that. And then,
but they were still full in, weren't they?
Yeah, because when they would sell the bundles, they would sell a lot of. Well, let me just say this: sometimes with the hair that is being sold in a beauty supply store, because back in the day nobody ordered hair online, everybody went to the beauty supply store to buy hair. And so when you bought hair from the beauty supply store, the hair was more like of our texture. It was more coarse, kind of like, at least the hair that I bought. It was like, because I had bought some Beverly Johnson, or was it Beverly Johnson? Yeah, it was some Beverly Johnson hair that I had bought, and it was our texture hair, and it was so thick that I didn't need much of it, because if I would have bought like 3 or 4 bundles, my hair, it would have looked horrible if I would have added that much hair. So really, I think out of that hair, I probably used a bundle and a half. Like, I didn't even need a whole 2 bundles.
Right. So, and now you're using more because...
Yeah, because with this now, and I've noticed this too with a lot of bundles that you buy online. A lot of the bundles that you buy online aren't as thick and full like that. Like, and then especially at the ends. I believe sometimes at the end, especially with the longer bundles, the ends are not as thick as where the tracks are. They're not. So that's why they want you to get,
2 and 3.
Yeah.
4
So yeah. So it's making up that space and stuff for where it's not as full, because I've seen in bundles where it literally like it's super thick at the top and then just shrinks right on down to the ends, and I'm like, why is the end so scarce. Like, why don't they have that much hair at the bottom like it does at the top? So I think that's why they recommend you buy a certain amount of bundles when you do this, like when you order offline, because the bundles aren't really that full.
So I wonder if you just bought a 360 and then bought a bundle like you used to do back in the day. That one bundle, would it do the fullness then? Because it's not.
Depending on, okay, let's see. Like now, okay, if you bought a 360 that's like coarse, like our texture, I believe you would probably only need one bundle to do the middle, because that hair is so thick. You're not gonna want to put like 2 or 3 bundles in that middle part. That's gonna be a lot of hair, so it's gonna be like, you know. And whenever you are doing a sew-in or whichever, making a wig, you don't want to put so much hair in it to where it looks like a wig, because that's the whole thing. You don't want your hair to look like a wig. You're trying to avoid that. But when people want to put, because I've seen where people have put so much hair in their wigs or in a sew-in to where it looks fake, like it looks horrible. And people do it just because I was told to buy this many. Well, just because you were told to buy that many didn't mean you have to put them all in your head. So, but yeah.
Okay.
So
all right,
yeah.
well, cool.
And then too with some companies, when you do order the hair, and we will see what happens with this hair after we wash it, meaning like the bundles. Sometimes they lose the curl pattern. Because I've seen that where you wash the hair, you co-wash the hair, and the curl pattern just leaves or whatever. It doesn't go back to that wavy pattern. So we'll see how that goes once we wash this. Or even sometimes I've seen it where you can wash the closure and the closure will be fine, but the bundles are changed, or vice versa. So hopefully when we wash both of these, they'll still be the same, and once they dry, the curl pattern will go back to the normal, state that it was before it washed.
Okay.
So I think.
And what's the brand of this hair?
The brand of this hair, let's see. Like what company did it come from?
Do you have a name on it? It didn't.
No, it doesn't have a name.
Darn it. I didn't save it either.
Nope, it doesn't have a name.
Crap.
But I think the last time we talked about what was a good hair company, I think I told you it was.
Eunice is good.
Right? Yeah, Eunice Hair. Yeah, they are really good. I actually said I wanted to buy a straight 360 and a couple of bundles from them. Okay, yeah, we can watch it because it's turned. Okay, see, like so you don't want
what you're looking for.
Yeah. So when you're doing this, you, like I said, you do not want to keep it on there to where it's like orange, like, because I've seen it to where it was like orange. Now this is like orange, but it's not like a bad orange. Yeah. So this is a good part to where you can go and wash it out.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm gonna go wash this, and you want to make sure you get all of the bleach out.
Yeah,
make sure you get it all.
Keep activating through your hair.
Yes, and then it'll get onto your hair, So yes, make sure you get all the bleach out.
Okay. And there's shampoo in there right at the thing too.
And then grab a towel.
Okay.
And then I'll grab those to wash those.
Yeah, just grab one that's right up there.
Where? Towel.
Yeah, just write one down.
You said shampoo's already right here. Okay.
Yep.
That's another thing. When you are washing out bleach out of a closure, or even with hair, do not use hot water. You need to use lukewarm.
Okay.
Do not use hot. You have to use lukewarm water.
What will the hot do?
The hot water, I believe it ruins the lace somehow.
Okay.
Or something.
Oh, yeah. Because it's lace.
Yeah, so you don't want to use hot. You need to use lukewarm. So.
Okay, cool.
Alright, I'm going to take these so I can wash these too.
Alrighty. Okay, so definitely if you all have any questions about what we just did here, be sure to comment below. We're gonna come back after we start building this hair, because that'll be the next thing you want to do. And as you can see, it pretty much is simple. You can do it yourself. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, just go ahead and comment below, and we'll be back in just a little bit. All right. And if you are watching, remember to comment. This is SJ with Monet, and we're building a wig.